Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. Little technical difficulties from earlier. We were just live a second ago, and we had to restart the broadcast because I noticed an error where our Facebook viewers wasn't tuned in. So what's up to everybody on Facebook? Got a new situation I'm bringing to y'all today. Had a sister come to me, a beautiful sister by the name of Keisha, from Think org. Make them think. What is it now? Because I'm getting the show and the org mixed up now.
The name of the podcast is
Making them think, right?
And the org is think.
Just Think org, and she'll let you know what the acronym is. And she had a very dynamic idea and a reason for wanting to do a podcast. So I opened the doors to her and explained the platform to her, and there she is now. We have Miss Keisha here from the Think org, and she's going to let us know a little bit about the organization and why she's doing the show and what she plans to bring to the network and to the airwaves. So how you doing today, Keisha?
I am good, Mark. And again, I want to thank you for allowing me this opportunity to actually have the podcast and be able to send a message out, to our people. Basically, and again, the name of the podcast is Making Them Think, hence the name Think in the organization, and the nonprofit organization is also titled Think. Think is acronymed for the highly intelligent, no nonsense kind, and it is geared towards the improvement, basically overall, versus any other word that you would use. It's for the improvement of Black people, basically, and renewing the mindset of how we think and things like that. The nonprofit organization was established originally in 2013. My late husband and I started the organization. It was first geared towards helping young Black at-risk males between the ages of 11 and 16. Once we got into it, the program, and it really consists of mentoring, tutoring, behavioral improvement, for young men who may have be in single parent homes. And, once you get into a single parent home and you're a young man and the single parent is a mom, you may feel you have that little testosterone thing going on. Mom can't tell you anything, can't control you anymore, and then the problems that we suffer in the community, that young man begins to involve himself in those things in the street. So long story short, between the ages of 11 and 16 is what we were geared towards. As the program began, we saw that a lot of other, Black men, younger and older, were interested in the program, became a part. And so we removed the age cap from it. So we were just Think as a nonprofit organization that was geared toward helping Black males. I lost my husband to cancer in 2015. He passed in 16, and the organization for that reason took a halt after I dealt with that, if you will. Right. We started it up about 2 years ago. So we've been back kind of fresh and new for the people who are watching. If you were to visit the Instagram page, which is ThinkOrg313, as you can see, the followers are beginning to build up as we had to kind of deplete everything and start all over. So now, building up new followers, doing other things in the community. But basically, again, for the reason of the podcast, for a lot of people who may not have got a chance to see some of the things in the community that we've done, and like you said, you yourself have saw me out and about, in my mode, if you will. But the reason I wanted to do the podcast was basically to bring that message to a broader audience. And that message is pretty much just the mental redevelopment of the Black community. And for us to somehow, shape, fashion, or form, come together and rebuild a plan of action for us as a community again. And like I said, this is no revolt against the government, or anything like that. Right. Because again, like I said, every time you mention we have to come together and build something up for ourselves, a lot of us mentally go immediately into the fact that,
we got to go against the government.
We got to march.
It's against somebody, as opposed to just building what it is that we need, the institutions and the things that we need for ourselves to prosper. What are the maybe just off of the top of your head, not without thinking about it too deep, the top 3 to 5 things that you feel are important for us to establish as our amongst our people in our community, to help us move forward, to help make us better in our neighborhoods, in our community. What do we need? What are we missing?
The very, very first thing, and I feel as if this takes cap over everything, and it isn't even physical, like I said, it's a mental. We have got to get our people to begin to realize that the thought process, it's the way we think. It's the way we think. Again, like I said, when you say come together and build as Black people, support one another, for the time being, for us to get to where it is we need to be, they immediately go into the thought process that we mean dressing all Black and march and protest and let's stand outside. So the very, very first thing we have to do as a people to begin to get us to where we need to be, emphasizing we, is a mental reconstruction. It's no way we can do it without that. Second, it would be a financial build. We have to financially structure to be able to compete. You see what I'm saying? Because if we are at least 70 to 80% contributing to the economics of spending. You see what I'm saying? We are the money that makes this world go around. We are. You see, and I just don't understand how, to the point, if we are the money that makes this world go around, how do we as a people have any? You see what I'm saying? And again, mentally,
because we spend $3 trillion into the economy every year. You know what I mean? I mean, you look at our areas, you look at the areas where we live in, and all of the things that we spend money on is either owned by people who don't look like us or are not based in our immediate residential areas.
Yeah.
So we have to go outside of our cities or our districts, if you will. You want to break it down political wise. You got to go outside of where we live to invest our money, to spend our money. Yeah. And we are stimulating the economy of areas where we don't live in. I mean, just that simple.
Yeah.
And then we again are colonized by all of the necessities that we need being owned and operated by people that don't look like us.
Exactly.
So again, even when we do spend money in our immediate area, that money is being taken outside of our colony.
Yeah, if you will. Yeah, it's
because we always talk about community. We don't have a community. We don't have nothing established to, that word just sounds good to us, but we don't have a fucking community. Excuse my language.
No,
we don't have a community. We're colonized. We are where they put us.
I was just about to say we're in an area. And that in itself should also kind of like be a light bulb to us. And then what you said, going back off of what you said when you said we have to either leave our community to get a service that we need, or if the service is within the community, it's not owned by us.
Right.
And when I say mental reconstruction, just for the example of, if I were to say, for our women who may support, or who your nail tech may be Asian or of the Asian persuasion, and I say, well, what we need, because the amount of money that women put, and we all know the amount of money that women put in their vanity, to look good, for us to, Black women at that, we as a colony,
let's say it correctly,
on the money that Black women spend alone on beauty, can put us ahead of,
put us at man.
Can put us ahead of them.
I mean, and let's not talk about the 2021, 2022 age beauty, where we're now spending $5,000 on one butt cheek. Right? So we got a whole...
We do. And then the thing about
a whole revenue, like a whole... I mean, I can't even... Go ahead.
Yeah.
There's so much I want to say.
Exactly. It'll get you there. It really will. It really will. And then the thing about it, like you said, like $5,000 for a butt cheek. But your child goes to a school where the books are old. You know what I'm saying? The books are old, or the building's torn down, or your child is responsible for bringing their own tissue. I've actually
Wow.
seen that they
I've-
they
and I've
did
heard
that.
of that. Yeah. I've
Yeah.
heard- And then when you add the fact that they have taken out key elements of your components of you being your identity, developing your identity, like cursive handwriting.
Yeah.
They removed that from.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, a lot of schools, I don't know if they re-implemented it, but a lot of them don't have band
No.
class.
Oh, come on
programs.
now. Like for us, band and those
Come
type
on,
of
that
things
was-
were
that was the
expected. It was
reason why we
second
went to
nature.
school.
Exactly. It was second nature. And to see that our education system has depleted to the point that our children, when not learning virtually, are in a building, sometimes may not have heat. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes our children are responsible for bringing hand sanitizer, tissue, things that should actually be supplied by the educational system that is educating them. Tissue. Now,
I mean, I remember back when we was going to school, and no BS. In 4 years of Osborne High School, I never sat on the toilet and did a number 2 in that school 4 years ago. Why? Because I knew that it probably was not any toilet tissue in there. That was part of the reason why.
yeah.
And that's ever since middle school, going to Grant.
Yeah.
Like toilet tissue.
And then a necessity. And it's something
Old
that you
books?
must have. Old books. Yeah, old books. Torn
I mean, I'd be damned you
pages.
better not drink out of the water fountain, because I mean that's the reason why a lot of these schools, right, are in the condition. These old schools, the middle schools that we went into, and some of the high schools that's torn down, is because, right, the whole Flint water crisis thing that happened. We had a water crisis back in the day too that nobody even knew about. Nobody even really talked about all of the lead in the pipes in the school, right? And to avoid accountability for that, let's just tear all of the schools down. No different than the World Trade Center in New York with asbestos. It's a big ass insurance job.
It is.
And so nobody will be held accountable for it. Let's just bring it down.
And then another thing too, again, that goes back to what I was saying about mentally being prepared, because sometimes we don't look deeper into things that we should look into. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that you can't, well, yeah, I am, that you really can't afford to take things at face value anymore.
Yeah, you can't.
You really
and
can't.
there's a lot of people out here that are so surface thinkers that it's like whatever they see on the news, they believe it. Or they don't see it on the news, they don't believe it's true.
That's the honest to God truth. And then for someone like myself to come back and challenge what was on the news, the main reason, and when I say our people, I'm not, on this podcast, I'm not speaking in reference to any other ethnic group but ours. Now, don't get me wrong. Of course, I'll mention some things because, of course,
this is about us.
Yeah,
this is about
but
empowering.
This is about us. So when I say we, I am only speaking of us as a people. But I can come on and say, there's for the vaccine, and I'm only using that as an example of what I'm saying. So I can say maybe we should think deeper about the vaccine due to maybe some RNA particles and things like that may be in it, you know, and not so. People got to get their jobs. Y'all are coming on saying don't do this and don't do that. People are dying and people. And what I said was into no reject of any of that
Or shame.
Not
trying to shot shame you. It's just do your research. Just don't take what they say
for face value
and just believe it
Do
and
your
digest
own
it.
That's it. Do your own research, and I can almost guarantee you, if you were to start to do your own research, you would actually begin yourself to question things. You see what I'm saying? But again, what did I say was the very first thing we needed to do as a people to begin to see a difference? It's mental. We have to begin to think differently.
But we've been conditioned to think that way, though. Like with indoctrination that teaches us to lean not to your own understanding. Basically, let somebody else think. For whatever I tell you, believe that. Don't think for your own.
Yeah.
Don't question anything.
Yeah.
Don't question me.
Yeah.
When I tell you, that's what it is.
Yeah, and then the thing about it too, and I'm gonna get a little deep, and I know somebody might be like, "Ooh, watch what you're saying," but even when it comes to religion. You know what I'm saying? And what have we been taught? You don't question God.
That's basically what I'm saying.
You don't question God. You take that for what that is, and you accept life, and you move on. But at the end of the day, would you not, and not necessarily question, let's change the word from question. I'm not questioning God, but I really would like for him to enlighten me on why this had to happen.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? Because there's no way, even as a human.
I don't even deserve an explanation.
I don't deserve an explanation. So much so to the point that I can't question you.
Is that the kind of God that I want to serve. It's gonna put me in that position, and then if I make the wrong one, I get fried
I'm
forever.
penal. And
Do I
don't
wanna serve that
question
God?
Yeah, yeah. And then again, that goes
If that's the
back
God
to
you want to
our
serve,
mental
then
part. That go
fine,
ahead.
fine with me.
Go
But
ahead. And I'm not even putting a specific God.
yeah, I just say that that's the God because
whomever. If that's what you're,
that don't sound like the good God to me. That don't sound like, because little do people know, the one that they call Satan is actually a God too. Now,
Yeah.
which one are you
Which
one are
one?
you praying to? While it's on the money,
Because
in
he-
God we trust. Which
he
God
ans-
does it you trust in?
and he answers too. He answers too. And it was a song, not to. Did it say God blessing all the dope? God blessing all the something.
God bless the trap niggas or something like
God,
that.
yeah,
I
like
believe.
he was. Which God gonna do
Which
that?
God is going to bless the trap niggas?
Which God is gonna bless the trap niggas?
So just because you say God, don't mean like there's several different gods
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
in existence.
It really is.
in our existence. So
It really
you
is.
can't just say God. I'm
Yeah.
praying to God against God. I don't. My God is okay. Well, your God and my God might be different.
Yeah.
Let's just agree to
Disagree
on that.
on that. Yeah. And Miss Aarons, I see a Tiffany Aarons on the line, and that is correct, Tiffany. And I appreciate you logging on and commenting. It is right. And then she says her pastor informs them to do their own research. Definitely so. You want to definitely do your own research, but the research that I say doing is that, just so say for instance you have your Bible and then you may have another book. The research would be taking another book and comparing that to what the Bible has informed. You know what I'm saying? Just to challenge the two, and see at the end of the road which one is more creditable. If you will. That's what which one makes more sense, which one is more tangible. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of people will relate things to the Most High as to be spiritual.
I was just about to say
You
this.
can't touch
you can't
it.
even
You
see
don't
it. You can't
see it.
and you can't understand what I feel, but then they'll try to explain it to you as if you're supposed to walk in that way. But
Exactly. Exactly. And
my God and your God is different though, so don't try to. And then the thing about it is, like with religion, like this is the reason why I don't like subscribe to anybody telling me anything about a religion, because like if they say that it's a personal relationship with God, with Jesus, whoever, right? How can you tell me anything about how I operate in that relationship if it's personal to me?
If it's personal.
How somebody just like think about any other personal relationship that you have, whether it be with your husband or with your child. Imagine somebody outside of your marriage coming in telling you, about your husband, how you should operate. That's this religion. This is you don't know how we operate.
yeah.
This-
And as a
child-
person individually.
Yeah.
As a person individually.
Let
and
alone adding somebody else to
That's
it.
it. That's it. And that's a perfect example that you use. Like, I got this personal relationship with my daughter. You know what I'm saying? And my relationship with my daughter is strictly based on what I know about my daughter, how I've raised her, and things that are, And then I have someone from the outside who comes in and says, well, this is what you have to do when you have a daughter. Exactly. Yeah. And sometimes in that same case, that person may not even have a child at all. But you're basing it on what you've been taught.
Your surface
you should
thinking.
do.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. And to go back to what we were saying about the way that we think as a people and us not having anything in our communities for ourselves, always having to support, if you will, another ethnic group to get what it is that we should have. And I always hope really think about this, Mark. I'm going to give this example. We have to be very, very profitable as a people. We have to be very profitable as a people. I'm going to give you this, and you tell me if this makes sense. As far as another ethnic group coming into the city to make their money and then go home. I'm going to lay this out like this. So say, for an example, there's a nail shop.
Okay.
This nail shop is very lucrative. It's profitable. It's been in the community for years. Everyone goes there. You have relationships with them and the whole nine. Now, this same nail shop is in a very, very bad area. A very, very bad area where for the regular people in the community, us who live in the community, we know to be aware. Watch your purse. When we go in these certain areas, we actually go in these areas prepared to be protective of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We grabs our purse.
Over emphasize on being observant.
That's it. We watch our surroundings because we know to. You know, you see a young man, he may be dressed in a black hoodie and black jeans. Again, has no agenda towards you or anything, but you know that we're in this area, that it's a kind of a bad area. And this young man is dressed in all black. Let me grab my children. Let me put my purse inside. Let me grab my tool if it's on me. You see what I'm saying? And this young man just simply has on all black and he's on about his business. But the reason we feel this way about this area, the reason that we operate in this area the way that we do is because this is a high crime area. Mm-hmm. Now, this nail shop has been in the community for real. It's an Asian owned nail shop. These people come in and make thousands a day on us. Now, this is what I want us to realize as how lucrative we are as a people. You mean to tell me that they'll come from their community in the worst of the worst areas in the city of Detroit, open up a business. They don't even have bulletproof glass in the places that they are. So they'll risk coming into our community to make our money in a bad area, knowing that the young men in the area know 9 times out of 10, when you leave out of that business, you got thousands upon thousands on you, or you've locked it away in a safe inside of the building. So you're risking either leaving that building and being forced back in to open the safe, or you're risk being...
And then, right, as many times as they've seen it actually happen at businesses.
That's it.
On top of that.
And will still come into the community in an area to that degree, make thousands of our dollars, and go back home to their communities where they pay for their children's schooling, programs, everything that they need. And if you guys really, really, really paid attention when COVID first hit and things were shut down and they were asking businesses to support this and support that, unless I'm wrong, I can be wrong, I don't think there was any Asian business in the city of Detroit that even contributed sanitation baskets. Nothing that will say we appreciate.
And in fact, if I remember correctly, they were amongst the first, if not the first, back open. Because remember, the lines was wrapped around the corner.
Yes, they were.
At the beauty supply stores.
Yes, they were.
They were the first ones trying to get their money back.
Yes, they were.
Complaining because they didn't want to stay closed. They had to open it. We want our doors open. We're missing too much money. It's too much of this black money we're missing every day.
And then the thing about it, not even taking into consideration the safety of the community that's coming in to give you those.
While we're in the middle of a pandemic that came from the country that you shipping the fucking products from.
And then the key part to that, what I'm saying about when it comes to us, black women will jump on me for making that point. For me to say, guys, they didn't support us when we needed to be support. Oh, everybody was going through something. I had black nail techs don't do toes or something. They always say when you mention the.
Or they want you to wash your hair first when you come. All kind of little shit like that.
Little things like that. But this to that degree of an excuse of while you give your money to someone else who has been in a position to prove to you that we do appreciate your dollars. We do appreciate you coming in here as a customer. And
keyword has been in a position to. Like you had the opportunity.
You had the opportunity. And then the thing about it, we shouldn't even just base it on pandemic. Don't base it simply on pandemic. Where these ethnic businesses that are not living in the city, they come in to make, like I said, my nonprofits, we throw back to school events, we sanitation baskets, grocery giveaways, and things of the sort.
You give back to the community that you live in, let alone giving back to the community that you are absorbing and sucking all of your resources from.
Y'all can't just one day open up that salon and in the back of the building there's a big carnival for the kids or the parents, the women who come and support us. But for me to say that, I'm wrong as a black woman. You know what I'm saying? You're doing too much. It's convenience. It's quick. It's that. And then again, that's where the mental reconstruction.
We've been conditioned. You know, we're giving them the excuse to to bend us over, basically.
Rebecca said, I won't lie. I was in that drive-through line. That's it, Rebecca. Look, and the first thing to change, Rebecca, is to actually admit what it is that you're doing and then look in some shape, fashion, or form to see how we can get that turned around a little more. I appreciate your honesty, Queen. Thank you. Thank you. Jacqueline, I appreciate it. T-Boz,
We need to wrap our asses around maybe one of the 2 black-owned beauty supply stores in City
That's
City.
my, and
You know
then
what I'm
for
saying?
me,
The black-owned grocery store, the 3 black-owned gas stations that I know about,
yeah, and
right?
then if anyone knows me personally, watch, I don't spend a dime if it's not in my community. The only way I'll spend my dollar outside of my black-owned businesses is if we just don't have a business for what I need. That's the absolute positive only way. I remember my daughter needed me to get my granddaughter some hair to get her it braided, you know. And she says, "Ma, you have to, there's a beauty supply on the west side." And unfortunately, the only ones who had the hair. Oh, I was in there like I couldn't breathe. I just wanted to get out. I didn't even want to, get me out of here. I just the feel it gives me. And then honestly, if you've ever been in some of those, their energy towards black women, baby, you can actually be bickering with them at the counter while you're still giving them your money.
You know what's crazy? It was, which show was it that we just did? I think it might have been Marcy's show. And she pulled up some research that suggests that even the voices of Caucasian people causes nerve damage to African American people.
Wow, but I can see that. I can see that. I promise you, I can see that as being real, especially when you look at these people in an authoritative light. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people actually had a power to, for some people, that does bother them. Because really, when you're in court and you're handling any kind of business, really that's important business that can make a decision on your life. And I'm not being funny. Some voices are black, but 9 times out of 10, that voice is white. 9 times out of 10, that voice
Even
is
if the
white.
body is black, the voice is coming out of it is properly white. How about that?
How about that? Yeah, and then when the voice is black when the body is black and the voice is white, if it's the voice is white and the mental state, you might as well be dealing with. You see, because sometimes we as a
this
people,
person's looking at you as, you're not gonna, they're not gonna allow you in.
yeah, exactly. You know, and
I hold this, I'm the token black person of this.
And that's the thing about
situation.
it. And that's what I mean by reconstructing mentally, because regardless to what they have, how they sound and where they are, if we were to become a force to be reckoned with, we'd all sound the same. You hear me?
Yeah,
we'll all sound the same because we're at the drawing board. We have demands. This is what we want. If we were all on the same page.
Where we are, if we was all on the same page and honest about where we are and realistic about what we wanted.
That's it.
We could move forward. You know, it doesn't have to be all in the same arena. Everybody has their own specialty, own, product, services, skills, jobs, businesses. But if we were all on one accord as far as moving in a certain, I want to say, system, a certain procedure, I guess.
Yeah. And I'm about to blow your mind with this. I want to show you something. Just give you an example of how easy something can be. And it's, when I say easy, I mean easy to the point that if we just flipped tomorrow and did it. Say, for example, we actually all agree. Now, of course, that's far-fetched. But we actually do all agree. And we've all heard this message about mentally turning ourselves around and mentally just one day, and let's say a week. And black people actually withheld their money back. And I'm not saying spend it with other black people or anything, like, just hold it back. Don't spend it whatsoever, because
so frivolously on.
I remember, I think Facebook and Instagram had gone down for a day or two. About a month or two ago, it had gone down, and they lost almost $4 billion in one day. Imagine if we all said, okay, let's just see. I mean, every last one of us, because I don't want to say that as far as social networks. That wouldn't be fair to say as far as social networks. But if we all agreed on it, Mark, and we said, that's it. We're doing it. Everybody across the board. Do you know how we can impact that financial structure that they need? And that very next following week, we come to them. These are our demands before we put money back into y'all. And what they will be willing to hear out from us. Okay, what do you guys want? What do you need? You see what I'm saying? Reparation. They want to discuss reparations and everything then. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? But with no form of action and knowing that they have us as tools to work against us.
That's basically what you call a boycott,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And what we've done is protest about everything. It's almost like protesting to me nowadays is just an acknowledgement, a group acknowledging a wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but what are you doing? It's like everybody getting together and saying, "Hey, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong."
Yeah.
And they're just and you're raising awareness about it to get more people to rally up to say, "Hey, this is wrong."
Mm-hmm.
But what are you doing about it? We've never taken it to the level of a financial boycott. It's basically what
that's a financial.
So as long as we're still protesting, all of the people that we are, or the institutions that we're protesting against, are just looking down at us from their offices saying, "Hey, look, Bob, they're down there protesting again. They got their signs and they're marching and picketing and whatever and that's their right to do." Well, that's their right to do, John. They can do that, but you know, are they still going to Target? Are they still going to Walmart?
Exactly.
Are they still Well, then we can let them.
That's
their right to do.
They'll be upset for a while. This has been
history.
As
long as they're still supporting us to the point where we're still up in the top of this building,
and that we're still controlling them.
Then that's all that matters.
We don't care.
That's really what matters. All of the you can know that you're being wrong till you do. In a relationship, you can know that your partner is cheating on you, but until you actually do something about it, you're just gonna keep getting cheated on.
That is it.
Leave them.
Subtract
yourself out of that equation.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put you one better on that comment, because once you actually stay in the relationship, because you found out they're cheating, you and them have that conversation, and you've agreed with them that I'm gonna forgive you. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to forgive you for what you did this time. So now they don't plan on not cheating. They're going to maneuver differently.
Yeah, because
they're going to move differently so that
an
you
apology, the best apology is what? Change behavior.
Change behavior. That is it.
And if they apologize and don't change their behavior, then that becomes manipulation.
That's my
especially
point.
what it is.
That's my point.
So you can say, "Hey, you done me wrong," and you can look the person in the face.
Yeah.
And then they can say, "You know what? I'll do better."
Yeah.
And then I'll do better at getting over on you.
On you, exactly.
But
exactly.
if the behavior doesn't change, if the situation doesn't change, you know it's.
Yeah, because I'll do better. I'll do better. And actually, while that person is sitting there looking you in your face, telling you that they're going to do better, doing better. Basically,
I'll be smarter at fucking
cheating
you over.
On you.
I'll do better at be smarter at getting over
that
on
part. And so instead of me having the women call my cell phone, my regular one, I'm gonna go over here and buy me a little prepaid, something that you don't even know about, so they can call that one. Again, I did you wrong. You came to me, we discussed it, and I promised you change. Mm-hmm. I did change. You see what I'm saying?
I changed the way I moved to get you. I'm trying to prevent myself from getting caught the same way the next time.
When the simplest and most easiest thing to do to force that person to actually show you change is to look for that changed behavior. You can tell me anything. I want to see the changed behavior. And that's the same thing that we have to do as a people when it comes to being able to be a force field concerning the kind of changes and things that we want. And Lewis, you are so correct. Don't forget.
Yes, I was going to say, bring that up.
Yeah, don't forget. They do. They send money home. That again, like I said, not only do they prepare the children are in the best of the best schools here. You see what I'm saying? And now they got to the point they make so much money, Lewis, that they can actually educate their children to the best of the you can be educated, and then send home money and take care of those family and not even feel that
let's
over
not
here.
Overlook the big one though. Tax exemption for the businesses.
Flip them.
7 years later, right?
Yeah. Bring your sister in.
What Uncle Lewis just brought up was the fact that they send the money back home, but then they can actually bring, like how we have these gas stations, and every 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay, we got the jailbird nephew that just got out of prison, or that got kicked out of the damn country. He just got kicked out of Iraq.
Yeah.
He got deported from Iraq.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He one of
Yeah.
the wild, hothead, little young. You know, you better. This is your second chance.
Yeah.
Little Akbar. Now you mess up over here, and now you gone.
And
So
now
he
you
over
go-
there,
yeah.
and you know what I mean? You see them types in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
The ones that's flirting with you when you walk into the gas station, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Flirting with your daughter when you walk
Yeah,
into
ain't
the
that
gas
something?
station. Flirting with your granddaughter
Now
when you walk into the gas
Going
station.
Dearborn and flirt
Oh yeah,
with their women.
Huh?
But again, and then flip script, and I have to put that on our men. That goes back to our men displaying a behavior towards us that's not necessarily holding your women up in the utmost light. You see what I'm saying? So if they don't,
'Cause if
your
we don't-
men, your
if we
own
don't
men
respect
don't.
you-
So why would we?
Why would we?
Why
Yeah,
would we?
why
And the
would we?
main reason your men look at our women differently and kind of hold them up to a higher regard than they do their own is because we, as the men, Arabic men, treat our women that way.
Exactly.
You know,
And
so
the,
you're
and the
gonna
black
get,
woman is exotic. Is she's something special to him now? You know what I mean? This Arabic woman is at home. You know, that's his regular wife. That's
Yeah.
his regular girl. You're
Yeah.
something. You're something special.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're exotic to him.
Yeah, yeah. And then the over sexualization in videos and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, don't get me wrong, and I know you will find some Caucasian women who may be in the videos and maybe be jerking.
But again, we talking about us right now.
we are. And the degree of how the difference is between us and others based on what we will and won't demand.
Yeah,
Just
you'll
like
see-
when that when it flooded. Remember when it flooded really bad?
Yeah.
Did you see them citizens in Dearborn? They came together because what y'all not gonna do here in Dearborn versus Detroit, we ain't said a word. We ain't said a word. Not charging the mayor for what you were supposed to do underground, however that was supposed to work years back, to come forth and say this is the worst that we've ever
And-
had. No, it wasn't.
And then wait. And then we voted him back in office.
Didn't I? And that's another thing too. And having someone in play that can act that are actually interested in us. You know what I'm saying? And that was the young man who was at the event when we were
At the school at
Yeah,
what was it,
yeah.
Mumford? What was it?
Cooley.
Cooley.
Yeah,
Cooley,
when we
Cooley.
were at Cooley, and to not have record, and then for the current mayor to be able to not give this man a debate.
Oh man, yeah.
He didn't even
Anthony
give him
Adams.
a
He didn't even. Oh
he
my
wouldn't
goodness.
give him. They went out in front of his home and asked for a debate, and wouldn't give the man a debate. How do you run for an upcoming mayoral position and not give a debate? And especially when the opponent is asking for the debate. You know what I'm saying? It's not so much that debate is second. It's protocol. You debate.
When have we not
you-
had a debate?
But again, circling it back to us as a people, Duggan knew that no one was going to come forward from the city of Detroit and demand that he do what he's supposed to do legally for running a new position for becoming mayor. That's what I'm saying about us as a people. Everything that other people do to us, they don't really worry about a consequence or a circumstance because we're not, that fight's not in us anymore. Not corporately. We're not going to come together as a whole and stance and be firm in it. Before we get that to happen, Mike Duggan will have his people who are black coming again. And all we want to do on this side, which those people know is fair, is to give a debate. So you'll actually come against us and say, well, there's no debate. And that, well, we looking at y'all like, oh, well, y'all us over there. Tell them to get old boy a debate. I mean, you see what I'm saying? Even if the smallest things keep us separated in such of the largest matters. They really do. They really do. And then it's like, Latoya has said, too much telling people what to do, but not enough direction on how to do it. The how is simply just wanting to know more about what that change is and you contributing. It's just that simple. You see what it honestly is. It's just that simple. What we need to do is to pull our dollars back from spending with other ethnic groups at this time, build our people up as far as their black businesses, and also challenge those black businesses to flip money back into the communities. You see what I'm saying? Everything that everyone else does is what we need to do. It's too easy to be hard. And we just can't get it. You see what I'm saying? The how is find out who's doing it, what your contribution to it is, do it, and then get more people to come and follow you to do it. And once we're to the point where we know that they feel us economically because we're all on the same page mentally, watch where we can go. And how can we simply not get there? That's crazy. And again, that is a mental mindset. It really is. It's the mental. It's if we aren't able to see why mentally we should, because we can go into it and say, perfect example, young man is in jail. And he's in jail for his criminal activity.
Right.
He's been criminal for 10, 15 years and finally got caught. So if he's been criminal 10, 15 years, his mental is criminal.
Right.
It's how he lives. It's how he survived. It's his source.
Right.
This man goes into jail. He comes out as a Muslim. And when I say Muslim, devout. He come out as Malcolm. I'm going to go to that degree.
Yeah. Full.
How did he get there? What happened to him that actually caused him to see that what he did those 10, 15 years? Because honestly, when that young man went into jail, he wasn't thinking mental rehabilitation. I got to sit down for 15 years or however many years they gave him. And then once he goes in to sit down, his real thought process, again, his mental is survival. So now that he's in jail, he's really in there trying to figure how to maneuver and how to move and how to survive and who I can get down on and da-da-da-da. Because again, that's his mindset. And then 10 years later, that young man comes out as a Muslim, devout, living it. I'm talking about. Got other young men following him because they know who he used to be. You see what I'm saying? But what happened to that young man while he was in prison was a mental change. He could have stayed in there with the same mindset, came out the same again, just like the relationship we discussed and saying, now he's going to do it different, but he's going to maneuver different. He's going to do the same thing. He's just going to maneuver different.
Which some people get out of jail and they do still
go
have
right
the
back. That's the
mindset. They just get better at it because they learn on how not to get caught because they got caught the first time. It's just teaching them how to be better criminals.
That's it. But what did the Muslim for? And I'm not. Don't get me wrong, not saying everybody. I'm not on that box on that. But I'm just saying I just use Muslim as an example. But that young man actually came out, prayed 3 times a day, 5, 7.
Came out completely reformed. His mind was changed.
It was the mind.
He had to make the decision.
It was the mind
to change. And then actually, what you said, put the action to it. He had to research. He's reading books. He put the effort towards that. He wanted it. You have to want it. Some people don't want it.
That's it. That's it. And see, for those people, just be honest and say that. Don't look for an excuse as to why. I just
everybody
really
has a question or has a way or a reason to contest the progression or anything that has to do with, like, it's the progression of our people that we're moving, that we're doing this for. Exactly. At the end of the day. Yeah. There should be no question or any kind of pushback.
Why is there even a debate? And then the thing about it that really puzzles me when it comes to us saying things that we need to do and the debate that comes back from our people. So the people who have the debate, like, we just need to love everybody. And I'm not saying don't love everybody. But why is that message only spoken when we say we need a change? Now everybody need to love everybody. But what about the other ethnic groups that need to love us? We ain't did nothing to nobody. And overall, everyone knows the way that we're made up genetically, as far as our DNA, we're built to love. You see what I'm saying? That's why you can do so much that you've done to us all these years, from the beginning of time to when y'all came over on the Jesus slave ship and brought us back. We have been conditioned to love. We'll look for a reason to love you versus what you've actually done to us. You see what I'm saying? So everybody needs to love everybody. That's just inevitable. That's common sense. That's how the world would rotate without all the drama and everything in it. But due to the fact that some people kind of miss that message pertaining to the Black community, but when it comes to us saying what we need to do, now everybody needs to love.
Man. And all we're saying is, can we love ourselves the way everybody else loves themselves? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
When we talk about, like, the things that they do without being said, the things they do without talking about it. That's all it is that we're trying to do.
Yeah, yeah, and then that's the thing about it, and that is true, T-Boz, and we still stand strong. Imagine just how strong we would stand together if we actually did that as a unit on the same page. You see what I'm saying? We've made it through all of it. We
Let me let
really
your co-host
have.
in. Go ahead.
But we actually and T-Boz, it's bad that we even have to say and we still stand strong. You know what I'm saying? Because as of for right now, we should be running it, mandating everything. Because again, our dollars are what causes the economy to rotate. How can we have so much power in that area and have none in the other? You know, and that's what I just want our people to recognize, to realize we can do everything that we need to do in our communities for the point of trying to empower, to try to become better. And like I tell people all the time, we've been marching for years. We should have contracts with Nike and Reebok, and oh my goodness, just because you black, you should be able to get a pair of shoes.
It's a damn shame that Gucci Man been calling himself Gucci Man for damn near 20 years before Gucci decided to give him an endorsement to how much money he just spent with Gucci.
Don't get me started
Already,
on Gucci. Don't you get me started on Gucci. I promise. And
Oh,
don't
and
get
I
me
just-
started on Gucci and our people. That's what I'm saying. Because anytime that you're able to make a sweater, remember that sweater?
That black face. And then Mayweather turned right back around and say, if I got the money, I can buy it. I don't care. That was just a stamp.
That's the
And they
divide.
turned
That's
right
the
around-
mental divide
and they
I'm
turned right
talking
around
about.
and did no shout, no diss, you know what I mean? Because I respect and love the brother, you know what I mean? Big up to everybody from Detroit doing their thing, but then turn around and did the merger with the Detroit versus everybody, and now they're opening the store here in Detroit.
Ain't that something?
I feel like that was the segue to.
Yeah. And then the thing about it, on our backs. And then had the nerve to smack us and call us Becky right before they did it. You know what I'm saying? Right before they did it. And then to only come out again and profit off of us. If that ain't the most humiliating or just as a whole, like to really say what a big company did to us. You know, as far as the humiliation of, and then as far and
Blackface,
when
and
they
then comes
chose to do
the
it,
blackest city in America, by the way.
and then when
After
they chose
spitting
to
in,
do
in,
it,
in black people's face. Oh yeah, right in the middle of the whole George
for
Floyd
thing,
black.
and
Yeah.
remember, H&M had just did the little monkey thing.
They was all hoeing us basically at the same time.
And then the thing about it, Gucci, you decide to make a blackface sweater when these tensions are high.
Oh, we didn't realize that it was. We're sorry. It didn't. We didn't. Wasn't.
And then
it was not what it looked like.
all I wanted to ask them was, what was the purpose of it? Period. Why was that even necessary? Why?
Who was the designer? How many?
Yeah,
Because
what,
who,
like, why-
who okayed that shit to be?
And then when you really think about it, Mark 100 though, how many Gucci shirts, pants, jeans, belts, anything of the sort that they make brand wise? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's never been done, but how many times has Gucci made an image and it was a face, or hardly ever? Gucci is promoted off of Gucci. 2 G's. You can put them G's however you want, but it's 2 G's. Now you might put, the other day I saw Mayweather had on a Gucci bubble vest, and on the back it
The
said North Face.
No, there's like a
That
merger
type of-
between
that-
between
thi-
those two
But
companies.
when has Gucci ever really
a
themselves
caricature.
had a character? That they, and then the character you chose was from the biggest ethnic group that spends money with you, and the character was to a degrade of those people, and they still gave you your money. I be trying to can, but I can't. I try to can all the time. I can't. And that's what I mean about how we as a people, we just don't. And then again, to speak on that, you'll get people, of course, who still wear the Gucci and things like that come towards me like, oh, she don't,
She just can't afford it. If you could
damn
afford
it,
it,
that's it. That is it. And
why
that
would I want to spend $1,500 on a motherfucking pair of shoes? Why would I want to spend $500 on a belt, $500 on a hat, a baseball cap? Why would I want to? That's making that you try to you make people trying to make people feel bad for quote not being able to afford it.
Yeah.
But you look stupid
In it. For paying that
For
much.
paying
And
that
then the
much.
thing about it, you'll pull right up in the hood and walk into a house that has dirt, mud off of the grass and no screen door on it. But you walked in that boy fresh as ever in Gucci. Our priorities are messed up, and then and then you know it's something whenever they say that how to sell to a nigger. You ever seen that book? It's a book called How to Sell to a Nigger.
That's crazy.
And you make the nigger feel as if he can't afford what you're offering. So when he come in that store, you're approaching him like, I'm sorry, you in the right store? You know, oh, those shoes that you're looking at, those are $1,000. And he got $5 in his pocket. And just to shut you down, and as a matter of fact, put a belt with him. I just spent $2,000. And little do you know, this man walked away, going
That's
back
a tactic.
It's a tactic. And there's a book called How to Sell to a Nigger. How to Sell to Niggas or something like that. It's called, but it is. It's a book called, and what the strategy is to make them feel lesser than what your company offers. And that person will go above and beyond to prove to you different. Now I'm walking into the back, and just imagine if I only needed another $2,000 for my goal for the day. He walked in, got him. You see what I'm saying? Then the thing about it, give it maybe 6 months maybe. Them shoes in the corner somewhere.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And this man has profited. They've looked into new inventory and everything that's going to come in, and your $2,000 helped them get there even quicker. But because he made you feel humiliated by telling you couldn't afford it, I promise.
Black people don't equate wealth with how much money we can make. We equate it with how much we can spend.
That's it. That's the honest to God truth. The more you are able to dish out, the more of the man or woman you are.
You feel,
you know,
make you feel,
and
make
we've
feel
got
like.
to change that mindset, because I can tell people all the time, I can go to one of the cheapest stores around here and look at items like, if I get that, and that.
You know how to put it together.
Stand next to a young lady, Gucci'd out, and more attention this way. You see what I'm saying? It's not about what you put on your body. It's the energy that you carry when you have whatever it is that you have on. That's the attention getter. That's what makes people look at you different. That's what makes people even think about you different. But 9 times out of 10, if you come in, you Gucci'd out, have you seen that the Bellacino? Was that the name
Balenciaga,
of it?
maybe?
Balenciaga. Yeah, Balenciaga. The shoe.
Yeah, they look like a boat with a big bumper on the back.
And then what they did was took the word Balenciaga off that shoe, and it was just a regular track shoe. But you can get that shoe about $50. Slap the exact same shoe. But now I say Balenciaga, so it's worth something now. Even though it's a shoe.
$800 $1,200 for a pair. And they look, and I remember when the brand first came out, I remember the first shoe that was going viral about with Balenciaga was it was a shoe that was made to look dirty. It was a brand new shoe, but it had out the box. It looked like it was dirty.
I think I remember that.
And I'm like, what? And then it was like $2,000 or $2,500, and I'm like, are y'all like really? So that's why I think, like, Kanye, I really feel like he's making a mockery of all of this. This can't be. He's making a mockery of the fashion industry. I think that's what he's doing. That's got to be what he's doing.
Do you think?
I think that's what he's doing. Because it's like anything, the more stupider that it looks and the higher price it is, now that's like high fashion now. That's what it is. It can be just simple and it's stupid looking, but it's $4,000 per boot and shit.
Yeah.
And that shit is like a Picasso.
$400?
Yeah.
A t-shirt?
Yep.
A t-shirt for $4. I'm saying
the sweaters with the holes in it, the whole bum, homeless, scraggly look. It was just like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like he's making a mockery, just showing you that
no matter
it's not
what
about
we
the
put
quality.
out here,
You can put the quality can be horrible, but if you put a high price tag on it, people will value it high.
That's it. And then the thing about that too is it also goes to show you too that they do certain things to prove to us how we are. Right. And like I told you the other day, we are probably the only ethnic group whose eyes are wide shut. And like we said about Star Trek,
Because
years ago.
we've been conditioned that way. We've been, funny that you bring up Star Trek, a TV show, period. I mean, entertainment has conditioned us to believe, conditioned us to be surface thinkers, and people only believe what they see on TV. And then it's like, the crazy part of it is like they've had some kind of crazy ass reverse psychology, because the shit that is really reality that they show us on TV, we don't believe is true in real life. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the stuff that they suggest, they play roles in movies and about things that they've done in the past, they got planned right now and for the future. But people don't believe that it's real because they've seen those type of things in movies in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? All the while, at the same time, they're programming you to believe what they tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not what you see.
And then again, if I'm saying that we need to conform mentally, like to really get on the same page and understand why we need to change. If we were to decide that right now in 2022, do you know still how far in advance they are of where we're, no, we started, we all decided, yes, today. Yeah.
Today, right
Today.
now. If we
Right
all started
now,
and just
we're gonna
started investing in ourselves and each other, like we are still light years behind.
Still 10, 20 years ahead of us. So that's how far back we are, because you got to look at it. Like you said, for Star Trek, when we used to watch Star Trek and he used to touch screens and woo, pull it up and that person's on the screen and he looking on his cell phone and
Holograms
he
and
can
FaceTime and all of that shit. We used to
is
watch
that
that
not
as a kid.
our reality now? So they had to already have been aware of the possibility of this kind of technology back then. Where did that thought process even come from to make something like that? You see what I'm saying? Now this probably won't be ready till the year 2022, but that's and where we at 2022, and I can pull up a screen, I can see you.
Cars will drive themselves then, and I mean, wasn't that? I mean, next is flying car. We have flying cars in 15 years. We got them already.
Oh,
The thing about it is, the general population of people doesn't make enough money for them to mass produce a lot of the shit that we know that's available, like flying cars. Ain't nobody got money to buy flying cars right now. Ain't enough people got money to buy flying cars, so they ain't gonna make them.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, like I'm saying, if we need to mentally be prepared for change, where do you think they are mentally? Somebody got to agree on the same accord to get the ball rolling. You see what I'm saying? And when you get together mentally on the same accord, that's the type of things that happen.
And not only are they on the same accord, they have it down to where they, it's like having like a double life, I guess, if you will. You know what I mean? Because they know how they're operating on the inside, but they know the face and the mask that they have to keep on the outside to keep this thing going.
Again, the deception. The young man the boyfriend who cheats. You see what I'm saying? Like, regardless to what you tell him, and don't get me wrong, you know how men are. I mean,
we have Denier in the building. How you doing, sweetheart? Has joined us. Are we going to call you? What are we calling you on the air? What are we?
Isara Delina.
Okay. Well, talking to the mic. Scoot over to your left, because we ain't get a chance to. We ain't get a chance to, mic check you and camera check you in there, so we gonna get you in there. So yeah, her first debut show, y'all already met. Of course, y'all had a whole conversation.
I had to invite the queen back. I need you back. I loved it.
I definitely want to piggyback to the shoe thing. So do y'all remember when Payless went out of business? Do y'all believe why they went out of business? I feel like they went out of business because they actually took one of their shoes and put it in a high-priced shoe department store. I can't remember the name of which store they did, but it was the exact same shoe, y'all. And people was going to spend that high money.
That was an experiment online. It
was an experiment.
Yep, I seen that.
Oh, you know what? I did see that. Yes, I did. And people were going to buy it.
They were going to buy it.
Yeah.
Well, they could have got it cheaper from Payless. And then they came out and said, well, you know what? Actually,
that's the reason why you're not making
that shoe.
So I feel like that was a part of them
that experiment
going out of business.
Yeah.
Because they exposed that little piece right there. Because a lot of them probably get the same shoes from the same vendors.
And just put their high tag name
on it.
Yeah, and it is.
You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, if you're a boutique or anything like that, I mean, you're gonna buy your clothes cheap anyway. You just put your tag on it. Like I could have the same stuff in my boutique as you, but you might have a higher tag, I might have a lower tag, but we got it from the exact same place.
And then to do you one even better, even if my quality is better than yours, we both went to the same place. I'm in here, I see that you're a boutique, I'm a boutique. You bought a $4 t-shirt. How much is $7?
Exactly.
It was only 7, but my
but
quality,
the
feels
quality
a little
feels
different.
better. Yeah.
And we both brought them from
And
the
we both got
exact
'em-
same place.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You
Yep.
paid 4. I'm your competitor. I see you in there for 4. What are $7 t-shirts? You know, I can afford the
$7?
7, just 3 more.
Exactly.
And when I
So I'ma
say
get the
compare
$7.
this one to this one, you buy the $7 t-shirt versus the 4,
Versus the
literally
4.
with the same things on it, or
Yep.
whatever we cater to in our boutiques.
Absolutely.
And then to think about it, both of us, whether you paid 4 for that t-shirt or I paid 7, going to quadruple what I'm gonna charge
What
you
you gonna
for.
charge you for it? Isn't that something? But that's how the world works.
It is.
y'all.
It is.
It's
And
how
that's the
world
deception. And then to
works.
think about it, it works like that basically on us. It does. It really, really does, because we're really the only ones with that point to prove.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then it's not like
Like
we
you
don't
said, that's
have,
our culture anyway.
That's
we
what
always
I'm
gotta
saying.
prove a point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, even like with me, as far as like Gucci and stuff, like I got my own shoes. I got my own shoe design. But people go buy Gucci and stuff before they support you. Like, y'all
Yeah.
don't even know Gucci,
Yeah.
but y'all know me.
Exactly. Exactly.
And my junk comes straight from Italy. It's
Yeah.
coming straight to you.
But
The
then they'll come to
presentation
you and
is
say,
great.
they'll say, well, I
Oh,
like
it-
the shoe,
but
but
it
why
costs
if you,
too
if you,
much.
or they'll say it costs too much, or then they'll say, well, if you give it to me and I'll tell people where I got it from, and they'll come.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I
they
mean?
want freebies all day. Either freebies or, you know, if you want to model in a shoe for something or whatever the case
No,
may
it's
be.
different
but,
if somebody that has the resources to be a brand ambassador
well,
for
that's
you,
different.
right?
But some people just come and say, well, let me model your shoe. Or, but
Right.
for what?
But you're
What
not
are
a
we
model.
doing?
Yeah.
Then you gotta
You know what I'm saying?
disrespect them like you're not a model.
But
Like,
the biggest thing I've had with that goal, and I'm almost at my goal, so I do be selling them. However, those are going to be from people strictly who support you anyway.
That's it.
But at the same time, the biggest struggle I had with that was the price. But it's like, it's the same company. I go through the same company as celebrities use. But y'all go buy that shoe because it's a celebrity.
Yeah.
So my stuff is great quality. It's still the Italian shoes, still come from Italian and
they
everything.
want that brand name.
But
It's a- I mean, they would
exactly,
rather
they
buy
want
the
the
same shoe that
shoe-
Sierra
exactly.
has, right? Same shoe
Because
that you
it's
got
Sierra.
because it's Sierra's
Yeah.
shoe.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a celebrity.
And
Yeah.
again, that is.
But I
the
just feel like y'all
mindset.
need to do better.
Yeah.
Because at this point, all black folks trying to start their own businesses and stuff
Yeah.
now. So they want to come to you for everything. People become, I'm like, I've been
And-
in business forever.
and
Y'all
this
ain't
is the
supporting
thing
me
about
yet.
it,
What I'm
right.
gonna support
Yeah.
you for?
Like
Right.
all
Man,
black people
man.
are trying to start their own businesses, and like you said,
Yeah.
but you know what that also shows us as to how we're brainwashed when it comes to supporting each other.
Absolutely.
If there's so many more black people who have started in black businesses and things like that, that means we have more of a wide variety
We do.
of what it is we can buy from
And
our
the market
people.
is very open. It's
You know,
just
it
our
is.
people need to do better
Yeah.
at supporting each other.
That's it. And then
that's
I
the
hate
bottom
that
line.
that's such a narrative for
It
us. Like,
is.
when we say it, it sounds so nonchalant because you hear it so
It
much.
hears so
It
much.
has
yeah,
no
man.
impact
has
on
no,
it.
Yeah,
You
it's
hear,
just like
we
love
need
and
to
brother and
support each
sis
other.
now. Yeah,
Exactly.
Oh, they saying
we
that
done watered
again.
it down.
Right.
Isn't
You know
that
what I'm saying?
something?
And what is it?
Isn't
Because
that
what does it
something?
mean now?
Yeah.
And then it's like people are content with mediocrity and doing the bare minimum when it comes to support and saying, "Oh yeah, well I supported you," but it's like, dude, like I tell people like this. I had this, and some people hate when I use this analogy, but it's like the reason why the reason why they call it. Well, imagine this. You on your hospital bed, God forbid, and you got life support hooked up to you. Do you want everybody, all of your friends, to gather around you and chat and get well and say, "Get up, Keisha, I know you can do it. Get up, get well. I know you can do it." Or do you want the doctors to come in there and physically plug you to something that's going to help sustain your life?
Yeah.
Right.
That's why it's called life support, not
yeah.
life encouragement. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
People encourage you and say, "Yeah, I like your shoe. I like your shoe. I support you." They would just say they support you, but
You're
you're not
encouraging
doing.
me to do better, but I need
But,
your
but
support
can you supposed to do something
to do better.
that'll sustain my thing,
Or-
make it continue?
Or then you hear people say, well, oh, her business ain't doing nothing and blah, blah. But you ain't bought nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got so many of you people that, man, I don't even want to talk about that part, man.
Yeah.
Because with me, somebody that got 30,000 people following my personal Facebook page.
Yeah.
And, oh man, I don't even want to talk. It's
That goes to
embarrassing.
show-
It's,
it
it's
is.
embarrassing,
It
man. You know what I
really-
mean? To
and
say
I
it like that, it's
know.
embarrassing.
It just goes to show you that people watch and people
people don't-
are going to buy things that they want to buy. That's the bottom line. I don't care how much it is. It could be cheap. It could be expensive. If they like it and they want it, they're going to buy it.
Yeah.
If they want to support that next person and that's what they want to do, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, and at the
And
same
that's
time,
that.
flip script to that too, though. They're gonna buy it based on how they makes them feel. We buy
Exactly.
off emotion.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? So
Right.
if I am sad. Like I spent 20 plus years retail management. The music that they play, and they were all pretty much women's stores, and the music that we played was pretty much catered to breaking your heart.
Right.
Or
right.
So you
So
know,
some type of
women,
R&B
you
slow
women.
come back,
down
yeah,
song.
we in there,
Yeah.
I need a blue one. And the green one.
Yeah.
We buy off emotion,
Off
and
emotion.
then while we're in there emotionally, you put that dress on, and it
Make
is
you feel
on.
good.
It's
Girl,
the bomb.
I'm about to show him.
It's the bomb.
I'm about to show him.
About to
What
go out
he-
this
Matter
way.
of fact, where the shoes?
Yeah.
I mean, we buy off emotion, but what I was going to say in reference to the opposite of buying off emotion, we buy off of what we think makes us look good,
Exactly.
and what makes us look good to other people.
Exactly.
I can just simply go into a store. It's an all white T-shirt, but as long as those two Gucci's there and those two G's are there, and you can flip my tag and see that that's real. Even you looking at me like, dang, you got
Right.
a Gucci T-shirt.
She got a Gucci t-shirt.
That's crazy.
Gucci house shoes.
Yeah.
Gucci don't even like y'all.
Yeah. And showed it to y'all, and then used one of your most popular boxers to show y'all if y'all don't support us.
Exactly.
Isn't that something? Isn't that something?
It don't matter if y'all support us because I got people like that supporting me. That's got $1 billion.
That bread. Yeah,
You know what
because
I'm
I
saying?
remember I was
Y'all
watching-
are not even my clientele. Guess what? Why don't Bentley have a commercial playing on Channel 2
Yeah,
Right.
in
yeah,
Detroit?
yeah.
Right.
That's true. Why don't they have commercials? Period.
Right.
Bentley don't do commercials. They don't do commercial
Because the
the
people
word
that
of mouth.
people that can afford it know about it.
That's it.
Exactly.
That's
It's not
it.
for everybody.
Yeah.
It's
It's
not
not
for
for
any and
everybody.
everybody.
It's not. And see, again, what they're also saying too is we don't have to do commercials because the people that we cater to know what we have to provide, and the people who can't afford us know to stay in their lane.
Exactly. And that's the bottom line.
Don't even come over here. Don't even come over here. They don't even have to discriminate.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We don't have to discriminate because, again, that brand of company, even as a black man, if you walk in there, they first and foremost going to see if you got it. If you don't,
What, you
because
got
we
a
don't
credit?
advertise. So you
But
in
see,
here
you
for
gotta-
what?
And that's the thing. Even like with like the Benz store and all that type of stuff. Like one of my bestest friends, she'd tell you, she was like, well, I could walk right in there and go dress up, look nice, walk right in there and sit down and talk professional with them, and I'm getting my car. They're gonna give me a low interest rate and everything as long as you talk business. But they have it so brainwashed in our community that people scared to walk in there just to even try to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like any other dealer that you
Anything
go
that's
to.
challenging you to who you are, because
She's
you can,
like,
like
some
you said,
people
you
don't
can
do
walk
it.
into the Gucci store and just buy.
Yeah.
But then walk into some place where you have to be
Yeah,
professional.
professional.
You have to be knowledgeable.
And maybe the mentality
You
of some of the people, maybe that's what the fear comes in, because they don't know how to talk or they don't know how
Yeah.
to change when they
Yeah.
get to a different environment.
Environment.
The fear,
That's the
I'm about to say
thing.
the fear of unknown. One,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
you know what I'm
it.
saying?
And
That
then
they ain't experienced that. They ain't done it before. So
Yeah, and I tell
Exactly.
people all the time, you have to be versatile. You really, really do. You have to be able to go in the hood and kick it with them
Exactly.
and what up, baby, and da 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 da.
Yep.
And then if you got a 9 to 5 or you're in a corporate environment, a natural setting, you need to be able to come and house everyone this morning.
Exactly.
How we're ready to start.
You gotta
our-
know how to
regardless,
fit
in
where you
wherever
are.
you're at.
That's it.
Yes.
Coexist.
Switch.
But really,
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You
Absolutely.
really, really
you got to be a
do.
bit of a
Yes.
chameleon. You got to
Yeah.
adapt to your surroundings.
That is
Yes.
it. That is it. And then see, when you have that kind of mindset and you are going into places and you're demanding things. Oh, they want to sit and listen now because this just ain't no dumb little you got sitting in this chair
Right, right.
talking to you. No, you want to have to up your game to have this discussion with me.
Right.
You see, it's just how it is. But for some reason, we as a people, we just don't understand it. We don't grasp it. We don't. And then I never ever like to say the kind of people who do that, because what we do as a people as a whole affects all of us. So it's us. It's
Right.
we. It
Right.
you know, it
Right.
really, and we have to really get ready to grasp the concept that we make whatever is going to be.
Right. Let
You
it
see
be.
what I'm saying? We make that happen. We're the ones behind that. We're culture.
Right.
We're culture.
Right.
I mean, culture, as far as when I say we're culture for everyone. Everybody knows that every ethnic group has a culture.
Right.
They do this, they do that, they do this, and they do that. Hell, because half of the time, black people celebrate other people's culture more than we do our own. You know,
exactly.
so culture is just something we know every ethnic group has. But
Right.
black
Yeah, we
people,
create-
our culture
we create
is
culture.
everyone's culture. You see what I'm saying? Anytime you can get
Everyone's
stores
culture
to
comes
start
from-
using rap songs and in their commercials to cater. Don't get me wrong, they
Right.
are pretty much catering to us. But while they're catering to us, they didn't spend no money to make a second commercial to cater to another ethnic
But
group.
you know what the thing about it is? In a lot of situations, I ain't gonna say a lot of them, but I've seen many situations where they use our code and it is not even marketed towards us. It's like a white commercial with white people rapping about
That's
something
it. And
white,
that's something.
and it's not
That's
and it's not
something.
to attract us. It's just the thing about it is they understand that. The tool that
This is popping.
that this is.
This
You know
is
what I'm
what
saying?
draws
And
people-
how
yeah.
and how attractive our tools are that
And
we
then
use.
even one better, just imagine one that has our culture in it, but we're not in it. Like you
Right.
said, they're all white. They're
Right.
promoting. Oh yeah, that's going to bring in even more of them because we can do this without them.
Exactly.
I love it.
Yes.
I mean, you see what I'm saying? I'm serious
Yes.
though. You know
That's-
what I'm saying?
that's true, though.
It's going to bring in more of them
Yes.
because they're doing us without us.
Right.
To the best of their ability.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they're doing us without us. And of
Then
course,
they end up trying to rewrite it and like that's their shit. Like they did rock and roll.
you know,
course,
Elvis and
Like I said, they did rock and roll. And,
yeah, they did it to every and
Everything.
again, the only way to put a stop to any of it is to see why we as a people have to have a mental redevelopment on how we go about, think about, hell, do about the things that we do. It's the only thing because people always be like, we have to have money. We do, but if we don't understand mentally why we have to have that money, we got money.
Exactly.
We got money. We contribute how much to the economy? We got money. So that's not the point. The
Right.
point is what we think about, what we do with our money. You see what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So that causes for mental rehabilitation. If you're not thinking in the aspect of, okay, what can we do? It's like for us, things are going to have to get extremely bad. For us to actually be like, okay, y'all. Oh my gosh, y'all. When all we have to do right now, when we get to that point of, okay, y'all, is begin to implement it. Because like I said, how many years do you think there are advanced of us now?
Exactly.
And again, something else that can interrupt that. Because regardless to where they are, we're funding it. We're funding it.
Right.
So regardless to where they are now, if we would have put an interruption into that and just said 7 days, okay, y'all, let's just
Right.
see for 7 days. Because when Facebook and Instagram went down 4 billion a day, they lost. Now just imagine if they lost
Yep.
that money due
For a
to
week.
somebody making demands.
Right.
Man, they'd have been at that board. Okay. Listen,
That's deep.
okay. What y'all want to talk about?
That's
you know,
deep.
and
That's
that's
deep.
it. And
So so how you feel? You did your first show.
I
Your
love
first show
that.
is
I
in
love
the
that.
books.
Yes, it is.
And you just ran through it. You know, we had a little technical difficulty bump, you know what I
love
mean,
it.
with Facebook earlier, but once you opened up, you were
Nice.
just like an airplane. Just
I love that.
smooth
It be,
sailing.
and, it, and
Natural.
it's and it's like you said, the passion. You know, when it comes out, and then when you were saying like, which I am still gonna do. Don't get me wrong, writing out but it's like it just flows. You know what I'm saying? It does. It flows.
That's only gonna make somebody like you sharper because you already got, you know what I'm saying, the knowledge and, you know, the passion for what it is that you're doing and what you're saying.
Yeah.
Without having to document it or bullet point.
Yeah.
But once you do that and, you know, everything.
That's
will
what I'm
flow.
saying. That'll bring that about, even more. But yeah, and it's like so many people. Like I've talked to a million and one people. Like you should do a talk show. You should have been. You should. And
But now you got one.
that's it.
Yes.
And I love it. And I love it. And I do see this young lady here. I remember one time I was watching a show of yours and there was T-Boz.
Yeah, T-Boz, she watches
I will
every
be
single
sending
show.
you some Think merch out. T-Boz. I need her information because I know you said you were going to send her.
Yeah,
and
send,
and
she,
she's very
she always
active
get
in
gifts.
it.
She
She's
always
very
get
active
gifts. See,
in
that's
it.
what
Yeah.
that's why we encourage interaction from the listeners. See, because we want to
Exactly.
give you stuff. you know
Yeah,
what I
because
mean?
that's
We
why I
wanna-
kept glancing over because I wanted to, let them know that I also saw what, it
Did
was
that,
that they're
did
in,
that,
they're
did that.
partaking, and I want to acknowledge them too, as far as because again, this is how we get there. This is how we get there. You bring education to people, and then again, it's okay to agree to disagree.
disagree,
It's okay to
absolutely.
agree to disagree, but in the midst of that agreeing to disagree, is there anything that we can do strategically to help us get towards this goal?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you have to be on the exact same page with me, but can we be on the exact same page concerning a mental redevelopment of our people to get
Move
to where
forward.
that's it.
Let's
That's
move
it.
forward.
And then the thing about it, let's just at least shock ourselves. Let's just see what doing that can do.
Right,
You know,
right.
can we at least just risk it? Let's just see what it can do. And at the end of the day, we're not even really asking you to take any risk. Just hold your money back if you're not going to spend it. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, when all of this comes to pass, if it's something you're on board with, let's get it. If not, you didn't take a L because you didn't lose any money.
Exactly.
You know, it's
There it
too
is.
easy to be hard. It really is. It's a simple solution that we, for some reason, just can't grasp.
Right.
And I don't understand that. I just don't. That baffles the hell out of me. Why is it so hard for us as a people to understand the fact that just let me try it? You know, I would prefer to be someone partnering and trying to see rather than the person rejecting and being responsible for my people not being able to. You know, even if I don't agree completely with what y'all doing, but let's see what y'all talking about.
Right.
It's too easy. And again, Mark, thank you so much.
No problem.
for
We're
the
going to be on here
opportunity.
next week,
Yes,
2
we
o'clock,
are. Well, thank
every
you for
Sunday.
welcoming
Yes,
me
we
here
are
today.
And I gotta get
See your
next
first
time
stuff.
you have it. I need you back for a full
Yes.
session then, because
Yes,
I
I
love
got
the
you.
way that we,
Yes.
you know,
Yes,
I
I
really,
got
really
you.
do.
For sure.
And I'm gonna be reaching out, and I have another young lady. Possibly next week, I'm gonna reach out to her and see
Okay,
how she
nice.
feels about coming on. But this
Yeah,
is
made
what
them,
I've been
hopefully,
waiting for.
hopefully you made them think
That part,
today
you know,
with your
and
first
that's
show.
all
Made them think
I
about
just-
something. That's
I
the
just
that's the
want
point
them
of
to
the show.
think. You know what I'm saying? Just
Make them think.
think outside of the way
box.
you normally
Or outside
The
of
block
just
and the
reality
box.
in
Yeah,
general.
yeah, and that's it. Just maybe question it a little. Don't take everything at face value that you know we've been informed of because they're saying. Because at the end of the day, how 100 have they ever really been with us?
Right.
When
Not
you
that, not
how
that.
100 have they ever? And this is another thing that baffles me too. I don't understand that why for them to say something is something, and we etch that in stone. The government said they put it on TV. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, I got something for that too, Mark. When we come back. Here.
Next week, 2
Next
o'clock,
week, baby.
Making Them Think
Yes,
podcast.
yes. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. T-Boz, again, I will be sending you some Think merch. I'll get your information. For Mark, for everyone else who tuned in, I appreciate the following. I appreciate the participation. I appreciate the input. Thank you guys so very much. I look forward to coming on every Sunday and spending time with my people while I'm getting you guys to think. Thank you for tuning in today.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.